Once upon a time, BlackBerry wasn't just a phone, it was the phone. In 2008, half of all smartphones in the world carried that famous keyboard. Presidents, CEOs, celebrities, everyone had one. But within a decade, BlackBerry was gone. So how did the king of smartphones lose everything? And how did Apple finish them off? Back in the early 2000s, BlackBerry, built by a Canadian company called Research in Motion, was unstoppable. Their devices were the ultimate business tool. Encrypted email, instant messaging, and a keyboard that felt like second nature. If you worked in government, finance, or big business, you had to own a BlackBerry. They weren't just phones. They were status symbols. Even Barack Obama famously fought to keep his BlackBerry when he became U.S. president in 2009, despite security concerns. That's how powerful the brand was. For years, no competitor could touch them. Nokia was strong in consumer phones, but when it came to professionals, BlackBerry ruled. But in January 2007, something happened that should have scared BlackBerry. Steve Jobs walked on stage and revealed the iPhone. At first, BlackBerry's executives laughed. They dismissed the iPhone as a toy, a fragile glass screen with no keyboard, weak battery life, and no security. They were convinced serious professionals would never trade a reliable keyboard for a touchscreen. But what they didn't realize was that Apple wasn't just selling a phone. They were selling a new way of life. The iPhone was sleek, fun, and most importantly, it had the App Store. Suddenly, your phone wasn't just for calls and emails. It could play games, stream music, take high-quality photos, and run thousands of apps. While Apple was building an ecosystem, BlackBerry was standing still. As the years went by, BlackBerry's weaknesses became painfully clear. Their operating system looked outdated compared to iOS and Android. Developers ignored BlackBerry because it was complicated to code for and had no thriving app marketplace. Meanwhile, Apple and Google were attracting millions of developers who filled their app stores with everything people wanted. BlackBerry tried to fight back with touchscreen devices like the Storm, but they were rushed, buggy, and poorly designed. Instead of converting new fans, they frustrated the loyal ones they already had. The once iconic keyboard had turned into a curse. People didn't want it anymore. They wanted big screens, apps, and cameras that could replace their digital lives. BlackBerry didn't see the future until it was too late. By 2010, iPhone and Android had already taken over. In just a few years, BlackBerry's market share collapsed from over 50% in the US to less than 1%. Even worse, their reputation as the most secure phone disappeared. Governments and businesses, who once swore by BlackBerry, started switching to Apple and Android. BlackBerry tried one last comeback with BlackBerry 10 in 2013, but by then, the war was already over. Today, BlackBerry no longer makes phones. They've pivoted into cybersecurity and software. But the brand that once ruled the mobile world has vanished from our pockets. The lesson is simple. In tech, arrogance kills faster than competition. BlackBerry didn't just lose to Apple's phone, they lost to Apple's vision. This is the story of how a giant fell. If you want more untold tech wars and secrets, hit subscribe because the next one might surprise you even more.